Oh my God, people, stop it. The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect.
Bless up, people. It is Yemi, and today we are diving into the powerful and sacred relationship between Jamaica and Africa. This connection runs deeper than flags, music, or ancestry kits. It is about survival, identity, and resistance. Let's break it down.
History of education, I have a bone to pick with you. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history? Why so much dunce people in my comment section? Oh my God, people, stop it. The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. The Jamaican accent, like everything associated with modern Jamaican heritage, is in fact the byproduct of the cultural melting pot that our motto embraces. In fact, in terms of cadence, it's most similar to an Irish accent.
I've been shook enough now, to be honest, since the racing is a bit tired now and the legs are like jelly, but yeah, I suppose we did a bit of celebrating and did the podium thing and got to put on the podium pants as well.
You see, as early as 1656, Oliver Cromwell ordered 2,000 Irish children to be taken to Jamaica and sold to English settlers. The extent of Irish immigration to Jamaica was so prolific in the centuries to follow that 25% of Jamaican citizens can claim Irish ancestry, and this includes Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. So if you never know, now you know. Again, out of many, one people. Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine. This is my granny own. This one is my mom's, and this is grandpa. Yeah, it's hardcover. Grandpa died a long time ago. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay your welcome, we put you back on a plane and we send you back. You, not me, you back to the country for which you came.
A video going around of what appears to be a Chinese Jamaican woman really coming for black African people from Jamaica, particularly those of us who live a foreign, yeah, in relation to issues of blackness, Africanness, and the possession of a passport or lack thereof. People are sending me this video and ask me what I have to say about it. And the reality is, I have nothing to say to she. Any non-African person from Jamaica or anywhere else in the world that has a problem with Africans from Jamaica, yard or foreign, asserting our Africanness and our blackness, that a feeding problem. This is not something that we should feel the need to justify, apologize for, or even explain, especially when you consider the colonial and neo-colonial experience of African Jamaicans and how that results in the migration of African Jamaicans, as well as the extent to which the colonizer attempted to sever us from a sense of heritage and a sense of culture. That alone tell you everything what you need to know about the mentality of the smaddy will make that the video there. So when I have not more to say about that except to affirm the teaching of Marcus Mosiah Garvey when Africans of his time were being challenged in relation to our affirmation and assertion of racial and cultural pride. Let contrary sentiments and cross opinions go to the winds. We are entitled to our own opinions and not obligated or bound by the opinions of others. Oh. Having said that, I was listening to Running African, hosted by Sister Kabo Ma'at Keru Wadeya, and she featured a story on some events and conversations that were taking place in Jamaica on this issue. Take a listen.
You notice that there's a big conversation going on here in Jamaica right now about Mark Golding and whether or not he's black or white. And you heard a response, well, you know, we have all kinds of people, because the motto is out of many one. So this is what we're hearing now, right? That, we have Chinese Jamaican, we have Indian Jamaican, and so on. And the person who was speaking, I think it might have been Mr. Morgan himself, called out every other race Jamaican apart from African Jamaican. that in itself was telling.
So it does seem, yes, that the African Jamaicans' assertion and affirmation of our Africanness does seem to make some people very, very uncomfortable, and we should be aware of this and what agenda it serves. But beyond that, make we assert our Africanness and our blackness without fear or favor, and not make nobody make you feel shame or make you feel like you do them something wrong when you assert your blackness and your Africanness. Our heritage and our culture cannot be bound by a passport and cannot be dictated to us by anybody other than ourselves if we are guided by the principle of self-determination.
I'm so tired of this narrative. It is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's 1 and 2, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50k followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like Black Americans so much, right? You can understand, you know, I love my Black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's not just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans, they love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And the rest of Ethiopia.
You're Jamaican, right?
Oh God, here we go. I know you're trying to take it.
Just ignorant Jamaicans, huh?
I just want to repeat the question. Are you Jamaican or Africa? The question in and of itself is inherently flawed and reeks of bad faith. Because one, Jamaica is a country and Africa is a continent. Secondly, when that question, are you Jamaican or are you African, is asked, the question is not about a ancestry, it's about a present day identity. Jamaicans are very much aware and claim their African ancestry. Many claiming the modern state of Ghana, claiming that the majority of enslaved Jamaicans came from the Gold Coast, while others lay claim to the modern state of Nigeria, claiming terms such as Red Igbo and words like Uno being their rationale. And there's even a few who cite Sierra Leone as their ancestral place of origin due to the fact that many enslaved Jamaicans actually were sent back to Sierra Leone and the similarity between Jamaican Patois and Sierra Leone Creole.
Let's start with the fact. The majority of Jamaicans are descendants of Africans who were forcibly taken from West and Central Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. From the Yoruba, Akan, and Igbo to the Kongo and Mandinka peoples, Africa was looted not just of wealth, but of its sons and daughters. They were brought to Jamaica not as citizens, but as workers, but as slaves on sugar plantations. But even in chains, they airtight their culture. You want to see Africa in Jamaica? Just look around. Music, the drum rhythms in reggae, dancehall, and AMBG are straight from African traditions. Language, Jamaican Patois has heavy African linguistic influence, words, tone, and even rhythm. Spirituality, revivalism, Kumina, and Obia are African-rooted spiritual systems still alive today. What about food? Ever had ake and saltfish with pami and kalalo? That is Africa on a plate, brethren. The ancestors did not just survive, they planted Africa into Jamaican soil. The Rastafari movement took the African connection to another level. Born in Jamaica in the 1930s, Rasta culture looked to Africa not just as a homeland, but as a symbol of pride and liberation. Ethiopia's Emperor Haile Selassie was crowned the living symbol of black divinity. The Rasta color inspired by Ethiopia's flag. Many Rastafarians refer to Africa as Zion, a place of return, restoration, and roots. Today, the Jamaica-African link is getting stronger. Jamaican artists tour Africa and African musicians vibe with reggae and dancehall. Pan-Africanism is alive through cultural exchange, political unity, and Afrocentric education. Some Jamaicans has even repatriated to Ghana, Nigeria, and Ethiopia to reconnect with the motherland. This is more than nostalgia. It is home calling home. In a world that tried to erase African identity through slavery, colonization, and oppression, Jamaica said no. The spirit of Africa was never lost. It just changed accent. It danced to a new rhythm. It learned to resist in patios. It carried logs like a crown. Jamaica did not forget where it came from. It carried Africa in its heart and still does. So next time you hear reggae, taste jerk chicken, or see the Rasta flag flying high, remember, you are looking at Africa's echo across the Atlantic. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.